Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins. I am the founder of All Joy Inspired and the owner of Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. Now, I'm not sure if you guys all noticed. Oh, my goodness. I'm getting an error message. We've been having some internet, WTF today because it's just the way stuff is rolling downhill today. I don't know what to tell you. So if my signal sucks, my bad. I don't run the company. The internet company. I run this company. But so today's topic is Captain Savajo. Captain Savajo. And if you are in sex work, that's supposed to be funny. I thought it was effing hilarious. But if you're not in sex work and you're a regular everyday Jane or Joe, and you're feeling kind of trapped by something that happened in your past, like a breakup, today's topic is to stop allowing yourself be ghosted by a breakup. But we've got a really, really cool special guest today. My brother from another mother. His name is American Phoenix on Twitter. You guys know him well. He is one of the funniest SOBs you will ever meet, but he's also a man with a heart of gold who has love for all people, by the way. I got to tell you, we were just talking about this a few minutes ago, and I call him AP. It's up to him to give you his name. I'm not going to do that before he says so. But he is a hardcore Cowboys fan. Nobody's perfect. We love him anyway. And yours truly happens to be a Philadelphia fan. So we have some serious love, playful hate going on. But we were just talking about how people get so nuts over sports. It makes them lunatics. So without further ado, we are going to pay some serious homage to another good friend of the show. His name is Matt Couch. All right, here we go. faithandfreedoms.com, owned and operated by Patriot conservative speaker Matt Couch, with a bunch of fun and upbeat apparel to suit all of your inspirational and patriotic needs. faithandfreedoms.com. Introducing my brother from another mother showcase. It's American Phoenix. You guys are going to get to know American Phoenix and a little bit about him and what makes him tick. He is one of the funniest people you'll ever meet, but he's also a really good person. So introducing American Phoenix. Oh, I screwed up. Hi, everybody. Welcome, my friend, to the show. Hi, Pay.
Okay, first thing I want to say on the show is go Cowboys.
Why do you have to get evil?
Just saying, yeah. I can watch what you were saying about me, and yeah, go Cowboys. How we doing, everybody? So yeah, I am the American Phoenix. As you can see by my little description there, I'm just a dude.
Well, you're my friend, and you're practically related by spirit. We are very close friends, and I would just want everybody to know, like, this is the person I'm talking to. I consider him a brother. I love him dearly. He's a great human being. Okay, so we're talking about today, right? We're getting ready to go over some topics that a lot of guys are plagued with. Some women, mostly women, but a lot of guys. What do you think about the topic today?
I mean, I think it's a good one to cover. I mean, I've personally played that role before, in previous relationships, and it's something that you just don't see when you're in it. So you kind of need somebody's help to make it so you can see it.
Yeah.
Because people, they've got a lot of compassion in their heart, and to one person it's just, I'm helping my friend, I'm helping my girlfriend, I'm helping my boyfriend, I'm helping my ex, like whatever. But it does come to a certain point where it is no longer just help, that it is abusive.
Yeah. And at some point, eventually after the relationship is over, so much damage is done and a person doesn't quite see it, or maybe able to get rid of it, and they start abusing themselves in more than more than one way that's possible. So I'm so distracted. I'm so happy to see you, man. I feel like I only get to see you every couple of months when you're in town. This is wild. All right, so here we go. We're going to go down with the first video. You're fine 1 minute, and then the next minute, everything seems to fall apart. when you're thinking about a relationship that ended, whether it be recently or a long time ago, and it still seems to be doing you damage, and you want to be rid of it. You want to feel like your old self again, and you want to stop hurting at the most random of possible times. We're going to talk about that today. Woo! Okay, so I'm a little jazzed right now because this is not normally how we do interviews. I have never actually done a live on-air interview. They're always pre-recorded. That's just because I trust you and your awesomeness. So
Right.
what do you want people to call you? AP, Phoenix, American Phoenix? What do you want people to call you?
Phoenix, AP, any of it's fine. I can't see the chat anyway, so they could call me a dirty bastard for all I care.
Hey, you people out there, you mind your business. This is family to me. Mind yourself. So, first question of the day, and I would love to hear your thoughts as a man and as a man who's had relationships. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Why do people hold on to the hurt of a relationship that didn't make it, or even no matter how long, that time has passed? Why do you think people hold on to that? Why do they get stuck?
Because they're holding on to a part of them that's dead. In the
What do you
same
mean?
way that we mourn a family member when they die,
Mhm.
you're never the same person that you were before a breakup that you are after the breakup. That person that you were in that relationship has died, and you could have really loved who you were during that time. And as soon as the relationship is gone, that's half of your body. That's half. Imagine losing half of your body, half of your soul. If you were dedicated to this other person, giving everything that you had to them, and you built this life and you built this new thing with them. So
I
when
totally agree.
the
Oh,
it's mourning a loss.
it's morning alone. I agree with you, man. And I've always been super curious how men think about this because I am a woman. I do know what a woman is. I got one this part, but I'm serious. But so relationships end for different reasons. And in order to understand pain, we got to understand, what happened. Why did the relationship end? So what are some reasons you know of, AP, that maybe relationships for your friends or even yourself, that why they've ended?
Well, in the case of myself, I had a girlfriend and she just flat out admitted that she had been using me for a year. So that's why that one ended, and that one hurt like hell. Um,
Buddy
yeah,
up.
I was a year-long rebound guy. I know I'm a dumbass.
Yep,
But
man. That's messed up.
but I think a lot of times it's just you can both want the same thing and have totally different means of getting there. Men, for the most part, when it comes to a goal, are very task oriented, and
Oh,
we will let that take over a lot of our lives.
oh.
So we might, like me, I want to have a ranch. So I'm prioritizing that over everything else because I feel that that ranch is what's going to be best for my family in the future. Now, that takes away time that I could be spending with my girlfriend. That takes away time that I could be spending with family. But I'm doing it for a set purpose that we can have more time together later. That's a very stressful thing to put on to my partner. And it goes both ways. Women can be very task oriented in the same way. And it's just men have a different attitude, I think, when it comes to this. Men have more of an attack attitude of, I want this and I'm going to go get this. It's just our natural, more aggressive instincts. And I think that it can be quite off putting to certain women.
So that's actually some really unique insight, and I appreciate that because you men are like aliens to me. I mean, as much as I know men, oh yum, but I'm not a man, so I don't know how men think. And you're warriors of your world, where whatever that may be. But there are other reasons that some relationships end. I'm thinking maybe somebody was betrayed, but the language difference, the communication interruptions, that definitely would have something to do with it. Because if you're out there and you're kicking ass and you're taking life by the short hairs, in order to make something wonderful for you and your lovely girlfriend, how is she doing?
Oh, she's doing good. She's
Oh,
doing
good.
real good. Good with the move and everything. She's got a job interview on Monday. So, yeah, things are going real good.
Awesome. Please tell her that we all joy inspired and digging from darkness, living in light. Say, hey, girl, hey.
I will let her know. I'm definitely going to have to send her the link to this afterwards.
Oh my God, totally. But just tell her, say we all love her now because she loves you, and you know that makes her family. Girl, we're coming over to your house for Thanksgiving.
I will let her know.
But there are other reasons that relationships end. I mean, just like if somebody has a medical change or a breakdown of some kind, or even some sort of transition in their personality and they become abusive. Have you ever had experience with abusive partners?
One, it was never physically abusive, but it was very much just mentally and emotionally abusive.
Oh yeah.
I needed a lot more communication than what I was getting, and anytime I brought it up, it was very much thrown back into my face, saying that I'm not putting
Mhm.
enough effort in, and I don't know how much more effort I could have possibly put in. I mean, at one point, over the course of about 6 months, I bought this woman 10 new phones because she just kept losing and breaking them.
She really though, or was she selling them?
I see, and that's the thing. At the time, I trusted her, so I believed her when she said that she had broken them or lost them. Now I don't know where that stands. And you
No.
bring up a good point. Once that trust is broken, it is something that I have had to stop myself from bringing into my current relationship.
Yeah.
You know,
We're getting ready to be psychic, AP. I'm going to call you by your government name. I'm sorry.
it's fun. I've never hid the fact that my name was Charlie.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you not to bring my last name into it, but yeah, I've never
Do that.
hid that.
But everybody in the world knew, and some people still have not caught on that I'm no longer Laura Jensen. They still call me Laura, and I'm like, it's Elizabeth. You can call me Elizabeth now. I mean, that's fine. And some folks that were very angry with me for moving on in life, wanted to talk some shit about that. And I'm kind of like, yeah, it's not necessary. I actually volunteered the information before anybody brought it public. I brought it public. But
Right.
I want to know, and I've got to know. I have to know because I am guiding some people through this particular kind of pain that you were just describing. Now, as a man, it is very, very difficult to gain trust in a type of person that you find attractive after you've been traumatized, right? Like after somebody really burns you wrong, and you're saying it's an effort not to bring that into your next relationship. What has been your experience with that?
Well, anytime that me and my current girlfriend have had a breakdown in communication for one reason or another, I have to keep reminding myself, hey, this is not that same situation. There is a reason behind this. And every time that something has happened where her and I weren't able to communicate for a little while, she did make every effort to communicate with me a different way. So if we couldn't talk on the phone, it was text messages. If something had happened to her phone, because I don't know why women are just really clumsy when it comes to phones. I don't
Nails.
understand it.
It's the nails.
Maybe
The
she
straight
does
nails.
like having her nails. Yeah, she does like her nails done. But if not that, it was Twitter. It was something. It was email. She was getting a hold of me, even if it was just a little bit each day, to letting me
Mhm.
know she was still here.
Pay
So
attention, ladies. He's diming you
there.
out.
Well, it's not so much that, but it was just there. Like I said, there were times where it was like, "Oh, is this the same situation that came up?" Especially when we were first talking
Mhm.
to each other. And now I understand. Now it doesn't even raise any hackles or anything. If her and I can't talk for a day, that's fine. It's not super bothersome. I mean, it's bothersome in the sense I always want to talk to her, but it's not bothersome in the sense that I have any worries.
Oh, she's a good girl though. I've gotten to know a lot about her through you, and from what you tell me, she keeps you really happy. But every couple has those bumps. And I'm talking
Right.
about like the ex that like really does you dirty. I had an ex-husband, right? And I don't normally talk about him because he's the son of Satan. He is like
Mm.
he is a bad person, and I didn't know that until after it was too late. So when I left that relationship, I actually spent a year alone, alone just to get all that nasty shit that he put in my head to get rid of it. But yeah, the lack of communication is a serious reason that people break up, and then they find out later that it could have been avoided. All right, we are moving on, my dear. One second. beardvet.com, owned and operated by veterans. Your source for some kick-ass coffee, some fun apparel, and lots of other things to check out. Be sure to head to beardvet.com. Sometimes when a relationship ends, we don't understand what went wrong, or we blame ourselves for things that caused the end of the relationship. And it leaves us with injuries, and these injuries interrupt everything that we're able to do, or even keep us from reaching a level of success that we deserve. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. Today's episode is titled Captain Savajo, and if you are feeling down in the dark and you need to be your own Captain Savajo, so our next segment, AP, is going to be why do you feel like some men are not able to let go of a relationship that didn't work out? What would be a reason that you as a man would not have an easy time just saying, F that B, I'm done with her. She was awful. She was terrible to me. If you get stuck as a man, if you get stuck on a woman or a relationship that was terrible and it's nagging at you, or it comes up randomly and causes you to have feeling a certain way, anxiety or anger about something, what are some reasons that men would be deeply affected by a past relationship?
Because nobody ever expects it to be a past relationship.
Really?
There's a lot of people, out there nowadays, especially, who are just casually dating, just going out, having fun, hooking up and things like that. But when it's an actual serious relationship, when a man commits himself to a serious relationship, when a man commits himself to one woman and that this is what's going to happen, he has already decided that he wants to spend his life with her. He has already planned that. He's already, okay, I want this many children. This is where I want us to live. I need to get to this place in my career in order to do it. So we start molding ourselves in order to fit what we have decided on is what we want to happen with this partner.
Wow.
So
please go on.
It's a very big thing. So when we truly dedicate ourselves to our partner, it's something that, like I was saying earlier about the mourning the loss, you create not a different person, but you create what you feel is the best version of you. And it's everybody it's specific to, like my current girlfriend, who I love very much, who I am trying to be, to build this relationship, to build everything, to build the future with her. That couldn't work with another one. There might be certain similarities. Maybe the land will still be there. Maybe the cattle will still be there. But there's always going to be specifics that can now never exist in my world because that is what I've planned with her.
That's so beautiful. Oh my God. I absolutely love the two of you together. So let's just say that, if you've ever had this experience before, this wonderful woman that you're with now, and you had a harder time getting over it because I'm thinking maybe some guys don't know why the relationship ends. The woman or the man, the partner that is leaving doesn't really give you a straight answer sometimes, and it leaves you confused, or the reason you got that the relationship ended didn't make sense to you for one reason or another. So what I have found is that a lot of people blame themselves. Have you ever been in that position where you never understood why? Like I deal with men and women who think it's either their weight, or they got too old, or they didn't understand what the F their partner was trying to say. They tried, or maybe there were kids involved from a previous relationship. And let me tell you, as somebody with experience being a stepmother, being a step parent or step co-parent is it can put some stress in the family. Say, like, what are some reasons that men might be like really wildly confused that a relationship ends?
Well, I think you just hit most of them right there. The biggest thing that confuses most men is just the lack of communication. There's an old joke: men don't know what we did wrong. We just know we did wrong. We're like dogs. And in a way, it's kind of true. If one day we think everything is fine and then the relationship just ends and we're not really told why, we're just told, oh, it's just not going to work out, or, oh, it's not you, it's me. Something like that, where we're just not given a straight answer, we can take a straight answer. Men are used to pain. Like that's the thing. We're used to pain. If we're
Okay.
just told like you're too fat. If we're told no, you're just too old, you don't make enough money, that will piss us
Ooh.
off.
Ooh.
But it's not going to hurt us as badly
What
because at
hurts
least
more?
then we know what the problem is.
What would be more hurtful than saying you don't make? I mean, to me, that's just foul. I don't know anybody that
Well,
talks like that.
well, you got to understand there's a difference between an emotional pain
Okay.
and a long-lasting pain. We can
Ooh.
deal with a sharp emotional pain.
Okay.
Okay, we can deal with it the same way we deal with getting punched in the face. It
Okay.
sucks. Nobody enjoys it, but it's over quick and we go, okay, we can move on from this. But when we're left there and we don't know where the hit came from,
Yeah.
it puts you on edge because you're always expecting where's the next one coming from? Where's the next thing that I don't see? And it does. It raises a lot of trust issues.
Have you ever exited a previous relationship and just wondered to yourself, what was I thinking after the fact? Like, oh my God, I didn't see it that way until it was over. Have you ever done that?
Every relationship I've ever been in.
Really?
Because I don't go into a relationship ever thinking it's going to fail. I go into a relationship with my whole heart, and I've never dated a woman that I didn't at the time see myself marrying and having a family with.
That is so different than women. Women are so different. Women date a man to see if he's worthy of being married too. So like you go into a relationship and you have a sense already before committing to the relationship that this might be the woman you want.
Absolutely.
Wow,
So
that's
otherwise, it's just a
awesome.
waste of everybody's time.
Holy
Also,
cow.
I personally take monogamy and stuff very seriously in my relationship. So I don't want to commit to a person that I don't believe is going to be a good match for me.
There are
Because like I said,
um,
I want kids. I want the ranch.
oh,
I want a life together. So it is so important that I know who she is before we get into things. Because otherwise, like I said, we're both wasting each other's time. Because if we
so
get together and
beautiful.
then she tells me, well, I don't like, I don't want to be around cows. I have no interest in having children. Then we have both just wasted however many months or years together because I'm never going to change from wanting kids. Like that's a very big thing for me. I've always wanted kids. I will always want kids. So I cannot be with a woman who doesn't want to have a family.
That's so beautiful. I have seen over the last, I'm going to say 2.5 to 3 years, I've seen many more men becoming much choosier about the woman that they spend their time with. Now, we all know that there's the culture of, let's hook up for a night and see if it works out later. But I've actually talked to many men who are like, I'm done with it. It's not worth it anymore. People are acting
Right.
crazy. Women are just nuts. Hey, hey. Yeah, yes, you
Hey,
are.
they finally
Yes,
figured it
you
out.
are. Huh?
So these men finally figured it out. It just took all of human history giving us evidence.
Well, you know what? To each their own. I'm gonna be me. I happen to be locked down now. Thank you. Thank you, Lord, for sending me a great man. He's so good to me. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Woo.
your husband is great. I had so much fun meeting him, and I look forward to meeting him again. I'm glad that I could have provided him with deer meat, and
Oh.
I guess I gave him the first elk meat he ever ate, so that was pretty cool.
And I've never had it either, and it didn't last a day. AP, it did not last a day. So, I kind of wanted to talk to you about something a little bit less comfortable, not about you personally, but about, the difference between men and women. And out there, hopefully, I'm helping. If you're a man and you're in this position, hopefully, Charlie and his presence here is going to help you to see things a little differently if you're suffering, because I know there are a few of you out there who've reached out to me who are struggling to get past being hurt real bad by somebody, or it's kind of sneaking up on you at random times when you really don't want that to be in your back pocket. You want to be focused on the future. So, AP, do you as a man find that if you've been hurt real bad and you haven't come to terms with how the reality of that breakup was, do you find it's because men hang on to the past relationships because they don't believe they're going to find a good woman after that, that they feel like, so damaged by the hurt that they experience that they put up those walls and say, F it, I'm done. I'm done. Screw you ladies. I'm just gonna call an escort, go to the strip club. I'm gonna random hook up with women until I'm done being hurt, and then I'm gonna fall in love again. Like, how does that work for a guy?
Well, there is definitely that element. Actually, if you've ever seen a movie called Men Are Silent,
No.
there's a beautiful speech in there given by, I believe, Matthew Willard, or I cannot remember his exact name, but he actually talks about how the worst playboys, the worst heartbreakers out there were at one point the people that were capable of giving the most love. And they got hurt, and they never wanted to get hurt again. And they said, you know what? Fine. I'm never going to put myself in a position to get hurt. I don't think it's as cut and dry as they make it out in the movie itself. But honestly, I've seen it. I really have. And I've personally experienced it, not quite going crazy, but I mean, when me and my ex broke up, I definitely went out and sowed a few wild oats and, went and did my thing because at that point it was, I needed physical, not emotional. I needed anything to keep me from getting emotional.
Yeah.
Because when you're that messed up and you're in pain all the time, the last thing you need is emotions, because emotions are your greatest enemy.
Oh.
They really are. Because at the end of the day, well, and something that I want people to take away from this, if there's anything that I can say that will help anybody or that anybody ever listens to that comes out of my mouth, everything is a choice.
Yes.
You have to choose what you're willing to deal with, what you're willing to not deal with. You have to choose whether or not you're going to trust your current partner. You have to choose whether or not you're going to just say, screw it, I'm not going to be in a relationship. But don't ever let something make that choice for you. You have to consciously make that choice. And once you put it in those terms of making that choice for yourself, whatever the outcome, you have taken the power of that decision. And that is something that you can rest your head on.
Amazing. I've always known you were brilliant. I've always known you were a super smart dude. But you have this connection to human behavior and human psychology that is just mind-blowing sometimes. What was that saying you said again? That the biggest playboys are usually the ones that are the most deeply damaged? Or how did that go?
I can't remember the exact movie line, but it was something along the lines of the worst playboys were the men who were the most capable and the most beautiful at giving love.
Touches me right here in my heart. Oh my gosh. Okay, we are moving on. Give me 1 second, you darling man. It is really important to recognize when we have been traumatized or emotionally injured by the breakup of a previous relationship. Because if you don't, and you don't address it, it's going to creep into other areas of your life, and it could even affect your health or your safety. Welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, we are doing a Brother from Another Mother showcase. Here we have our champion brother from another mother to All Joy Inspired and Elizabeth Spraggins. My favorite person in the entire world. It's American Phoenix. Hi, and thank you so much for being here with us today. We are talking about being a Captain Savajo for your damn self, because sometimes when you're stuck, you got to be the one to pull yourself out of it. So we're talking about the differences between men and women and how men and women handle, a painful breakup, in different ways. And from what American Phoenix was telling us is just some powerful insight into the mind of a man and how he looks at being, the recipient of a painful breakup. So AP, I got more questions, man. I got more questions. Like, you're blowing my mind right now. I gotta say. And if you're out there, we're going to be doing the Q&A at the end of the show. Thanks so much, you guys, for being a part of this today. This is so exciting to have your. It's been like a year, man. It's about effing time you're on the show. Shit.
I keep telling you, I am literally only ever a phone call away.
I know. I love you. I do. I love you, man. I love you. So
Love
okay.
you too,
So
bud.
if somebody is kind of in denial, like they think they've just brushed it off, they've gone out, they've acted, promiscuous, they've had a bunch of sex, they're hooking up, they're, hit it and quit it, or they're doing other habits which could be pretty bad for you, like drinking or drugs or gambling or spending money. People love shopping. That can be an addiction too. But what are some sneaky ways to recognize as a man if you have truly been affected and you might need some help? What would that be for you as a man?
Well, you have to take your mental inventory. You have to go, okay, what am I doing this month that I didn't do last month? What am I doing right now that I wasn't doing while I was in a relationship? And even if you're doing the same things, like me, I like scratch offs. Okay, I do it. They're fun, and I've won the lottery 4 times. So I mean, I'm pretty lucky on that. But no, so it's one of those where you have to kind of assess, like, okay, what am I doing? Am I doing this more than I was before?
Okay,
and
like
something that I want.
Do men have that would be indicative that they're having a problem right now?
I mean, it varies depending on the guy. It's whatever he liked before, he's either going to completely avoid or he's going to throw himself into completely. So, if you have a guy who really loves playing basketball before he's in a relationship, once he gets out of that relationship, if it was a bad breakup, if you notice that he's either not on the court ever or he's on the court for 12 hours a day, then that's where you have to kind of notice, like, okay, this guy, he's definitely suffering. He's either running from something or he's trying to battle it in the way that he feels he can. And a lot of times what men will do in order to get over pain is do something that brings us pleasure.
Okay.
So like I said, if it's basketball, if he loves playing basketball, if he just needs a distraction, he's going to go out and he's going to play basketball as long as he can, as hard as he can, against as many people. He's going to practice, shots that he's never made before, and he will get better and he will perfect those. And he's doing that to not deal with the emotional side of it.
Now, have you ever known of, like, maybe a friend or a family member, or even just, someone that you've observed who has gotten so deeply into that habit to avoid dealing with the pain that it became an issue for them? Have you ever seen that happen?
Oh yeah, I've experienced it.
Really? Would you be comfortable telling us about it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm an alcoholic.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I try not to drink very much anymore. And I guess maybe alcoholic is the wrong term. I drank enough to be called an alcoholic, but I was able to quit for a long time. But yeah, I can drink on occasion now. My friend who was in AA called me a dry drunk. It was the terminology he used.
What does dry drunk mean?
I don't know, but he's been in AA for a long time, so I'm just going to take his word that he knows what he's talking about. But I mean, I would throw myself into a bottle because it made it easier to deal with my day to day. I didn't have to worry about, and this is about to get really sad. This all started when I was in high school.
Okay.
I was drinking a 5th of whiskey a day, every single day, for about 3 years.
How did that affect your health?
I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know. I haven't had too many issues, but at the same time, I'm fat, so I don't know if I would notice the issues if they happened or not. As far as I know, my liver's okay, so I got pretty lucky there. And I would take the 5th of whiskey, I'd pour it into a coffee thermos, and then I'd top it up with coffee.
Oh.
So, and like I said, I was drinking this at school. I would just, nobody asked questions.
Wow. Wild. Yeah. That is wild. So do you think that like drinking or maybe gambling, because I know of some men that they develop addictions when they are avoiding, and women too. Let's not like say that women don't develop addictions when they're going through avoiding pain, emotional pain. But women are more visible. Their addictions are much more visible. You men, when you're avoiding pain, you develop habits and you kept good at keeping them secret. I mean, like women, they go out, they get some plastic surgery, maybe they get their hair done, or they start, spending all their money, or, they develop like a drinking or a drug habit when they're avoiding some serious pain.
Mm-hmm.
But men are much more stealthy about, ways that they're dealing with a problem.
Well, and the funny part about that is that we're taught this.
Really? Tell me more.
Men are taught to suffer in silence. I mean, we're told don't make a big deal out of stuff.
Oh, you're right.
You break your, I mean, growing up, like if I would fall, I mean, I broke my hand. First thing my dad said out of his mouth was, it's a long way from your heart. He was making me, I had to toughen up because crying about it and moaning about it wasn't going to fix it.
Yeah.
So I had to toughen up. And that's what most young men are taught is don't worry about your emotions. Deal with those privately, suffer in silence, and just put a strong face to the world. Because a strong face to the world, the society we live in doesn't respect weak men.
No, it doesn't. And especially when your position as an adult male is to protect and provide. If
Right.
the world or the outside sees a weak man, they see an opportunity to take what you've got in one way or another, right?
Absolutely. And just so we're clear, I'm not saying that showing your emotions makes you a weak man. I'm saying that that's how society, for the most part, has perceived it.
There are different degrees of sharing emotion that can seem weak. And I certainly think that when it's appropriate, a man should be able to have, tears or to have anger or to have fear. That's absolutely appropriate. You're a human being.
Anger is acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anger is always acceptable in men. Men have two moods that are socially acceptable in any given situation: anger and laughter. And that's it.
Yeah.
Men are not supposed to socially be depressed. Men are not socially supposed to be sad. We are supposed to put on a brave face. And our two options are we laugh about a horrible situation that's putting us in pain, or we go punch a brick wall until we break our knuckles.
Yeah. And yeah. So how do you see, as a man, how do you see women being different?
I see women, and as a man, I can't really know what's going through a woman's mind and how she is suffering. I do know that our society is meant to protect women's emotions a lot more than it is men's.
Yeah.
It's way more socially acceptable for a woman to go and cry and make a big scene, and when that's needed for her, and that's good. I'm glad that they're emotionally supported in that way. It is a good thing. But I also think that does do a disservice to women in a way. I think that it infantilizes them.
Yeah.
And it makes it totally just acceptable for women to freak out in any given situation. And we're automatically going to assume that she is correct or that she's telling the truth.
Man,
and believe it or not, that hurts a lot of men in breakups because we get to the point. Oh, yeah. Because if you're good with your, if a man is in a good relationship and he's very close with her family, or or the female members of his family, or even the male members of his family are close to her.
Yeah.
If they break up and it's anything but amicable, just everybody, for the most part, sides with her. I mean, in cases of cheating and stuff, obviously that's off the table. But if she just says, "Oh, we just didn't work out. I just wasn't happy in the relationship," then it always goes back to her family hates him. And his family, if they were close, looks at him and goes, "Dude, what did you do? You lost the best thing that ever happened to you." So both sides side with her. See, that's why brotherhood is so important. Because when my brother broke up with his ex, the first words out of my mouth were, "I'm sorry, what level of cussing can I do on here?"
That's a good question. That's a good question.
The first words out of my mouth when I called my brother after his breakup was, "Dude, F that hoe." Because I'm his brother. I have to have his back no matter what. a lot of times that's not the case, and a lot it is too, don't get me wrong. There's no like set 50-50 numbers on this, or anything. It does come down to the family, but I have seen plenty of times where a man going through a breakup, his family and his friends will side with the woman who broke up with him and broke his heart.
Do you find that a lot of men have to suffer the end of a relationship they really wanted? They have to suffer alone?
Yes.
I deal with a lot of that in my practice. A lot of men who, were left isolated from support, and it's not boo-hoo, woe is me. They're just left really confused. Either they didn't truly know why the relationship ended because they weren't told the truth, or they were, survivors of an abusive situation. And yes, ladies, it is possible for a woman to abuse her man. It is totally possible. And this definitely needs to be talked about, because women are when they are abusers, they are serial abusers. They have this tendency to put men down or to shit all over their identity in order to get them to conform to, standards of him being allowed to be loved. Women can absolutely be abusive. We need to get that straight. Have you known of any friends or family members that had abusive relationships?
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to give personal details on it, but yeah, I've seen it, and I've seen what it does to them, and how badly it affects them, and how long it affects them.
Oh my gosh, weird. Go on. You're blowing my mind right now.
Well, it's just, I can give an example. I have a friend right now who's getting a divorce, and I won't give his name, but he's suspected his wife cheating on him years ago, like years and years ago, and he has tried to stay in the marriage and honor his vows that he made, and she always kept just pushing him and pushing him and pushing him away. And it finally got to the point where he couldn't handle it anymore. And he said, okay, I want a divorce. And now all of a sudden she changed her tune. No, it's I love you every day. Oh, let me do this thing that you wanted me to do. Oh, let's be a happy family now. Because now she never expected to lose him. She thought that she could do whatever she wanted and act in any way that she wanted. And just he would put up with it because he was a good man. And he is a good man.
Did you ever hear that saying, AP, that so many women are with bad guys, and then when they get with a good dude, they don't want him? Have you ever heard that saying?
Oh yeah.
But it's the women that choose guys that are rotten, that are awful people, because they see that as a situation to fix, and they know what to expect. So if they get with a good dude and they're used to being required to fix someone or fix something, and they get with a guy who's whole and healthy in his heart, then
they're bored.
She feels compelled to cause problems, so the relationship is familiar to her and she knows how to act. Like it's wild, right? But have you I'm sure you're a really good man. Have you ever, even for no matter how short a period of time, gotten with a woman thinking, okay, this might be something, and then she starts acting like a whack job, right? Has that ever happened to you?
No, all my relationships have been long term. So my first girlfriend, the girl who like I said came out and just said flat out, yeah, you were my rebound guy. That was a year, that was a whole year, like to the day, almost to the exact date a year. The girl I dated after that was 2 years, and then my current girlfriend and I have been together for almost 2 years.
Oh, I do love her. I like her the best, though.
She makes me like. She made me promise her that I'd go get a massage because she knows that my shoulder's been messed up and that my back is still hurting. And she made me promise her that I would go get a massage so that I could finally feel better.
Ladies, it doesn't have any connotation that there's anything inappropriate about that. That immediately tells me that she trusts you. I mean, you're a trustworthy guy. But when you hear someone say, "Hey, go get a massage," first thing I think of is, back room. Yeah, And
Right.
I'm a degenerate. I love myself, but it's the first thing I think of. But for you and your lady to have that conversation that, hey, baby, you really need to go get somebody to work on that for you. Because you do suffer. You get serious back pain, right?
Well, yeah, I pulled some muscles in my back about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I haven't been able to actually let them heal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's gone from a sharp pain to a dull pain, but yeah, I haven't had a day in the last month that I haven't been just in searing pain. So
Oh,
between
wow.
that and then my shoulder, yeah, my shoulder's been messed up for months.
Yeah, yeah, we've talked about that before and how much pain you were in. But man,
Yeah.
you're like a war horse. You're a young dude and you're a war horse. Like you're just like battle born, you know? Holy crap. Before we go, before I thank you for your time here today, what are some things that men could do to help them through getting rid of that pain, that gnawing demon that's keeping them from being happy with a new woman?
Well, first of all, stop thinking you have to have a big friends group. You don't. I've got 2 male friends in this entire world,
Hmm.
and those 2 motherfuckers have got my back so much
Oh,
that no
I
matter
know.
what situation comes up, I know I can count on them.
Help you hide the
I
body.
am literally the godfather to one of their sons or to one of their kids already.
Hmm.
And I was told, like, me and my other friend talked about this. He just had a daughter, and he's already told me, oh, she's going to call you Uncle Charlie.
Up,
That's
there's
how
the
close I
government.
am with these people.
Y'all paying attention?
I said it earlier,
I
but
know, I am.
so but so you don't have to have a big friends group. Stop focusing on quantity. Focus on the
Mhm.
quality of the people that you have around you. That's number one, because the people that are around you are going to help you with step number two. Recognize when you are acting different,
Yeah.
because you're not always going to be able to see it. You're
Mhm.
really not. So the people around you are going to be able to pull you aside and go, hey, what the hell's going on? What's in your head? And these are people that you're going to be able to trust and actually communicate with and talk to and let out those emotions that we don't let out around a lot of people. And the
I
third one, and this
All
is
right,
just the
third one.
biggest one,
Okay.
like I said earlier, every single thing you do is a choice. And you can never lose sight of that. If you ever lose sight of the fact that everything in your life is a choice, you are no longer in control of your life. If you want to get better, if you want to have a trusting relationship, you have to make a conscious effort. You have to say, I choose to trust this person. And
Yes.
that's the biggest thing. That's the best way that I have found to get over any kind of bad situation that you're in. Go to your group that you can truly trust. Let them help you get over whatever, figure out where you're actually hurting. Let them triage you, and then make the decision on whether or not you're going to let that continue to hurt you or if you're going to move on. And it's
Amen,
not an
Charlie.
instantaneous thing.
Amen. Man, I am so grateful to have your company today and have your insight. You are a powerful individual, and I've known you for several years now, and we've been through a lot of life together as friends. And I can tell you, there's nobody I would rather have my back than you. You know, when it comes to friends, you are one of the people I always know is going to make something better if I can't handle it. And I love you and I thank you for being my friend. And shout out to that beautiful woman of yours who's sharing you with the world today. Thank you, hon. I hope to meet you soon. Thank you for being so good to my brother. And hopefully we all get to hang out soon. Charlie, thank you for being here. Where can people find you?
I just, my Twitter that's scrolling along the bottom right there is really the best place that anybody can reach me.
Charlie's a
Follow
trip,
me, I'll
though.
probably follow you back.
He is a spirited individual. He has, by the way, a diverse roster of friends. Charlie's not a snob. He's not a D. You know, he's a really good dude. He doesn't care about your identity demographics. He doesn't care what your politics are. If you're a good person, you're a good person. Just don't be an a-hole, and you two will be cool. Right? Is that accurate?
Yeah, no. I'll be good to anybody who's good to me. I match energy.
Mhm.
If you come at me looking for a fight, we'll have a fight. If you come at me saying, hey, let's just be cool with each other, that's all you'll ever get from me.
I wouldn't want to fight you, Charlie. You're a big dude. If you guys ever get a chance to see him in person, Charlie reminds me of the Undertaker. You remind me of the Undertaker. And I'm kind of like, yeah, nobody's gonna fuck with us when we go out because of how like hyper masculine you look, dude. Like you're scary looking dude if you get mad.
Well, it also helps that I technically every time I've seen you have been carrying an illegal weapon.
A legal weapon.
No, it's I'm pretty sure spring-loaded knives are illegal in Vegas to carry.
I have no idea. I'd have to look into that. But those of you out there, this is the American Phoenix, my brother from another mother. Charlie, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to take a quick break, you guys, and I will be right back. AllJOYInspired.store. We have a bunch of fun things, either make you laugh or reconnect you to your faith or your belief in humanity. So check out the store, find something fun for you or a loved one, and perk up your day. Military and first responder discounts apply, especially for family members. AllJoy Inspired. So you guys, you got to hear from, one of you. If you're a man out there and you're suffering, you're getting to hear somebody who's been through it, who got to the other side. And of course, we did have, something unfortunately neurotic and anal written up, but I actually really enjoyed this broadcast today because I have a deep, deep, unshakable respect for the American Phoenix. He is a good person. He has love for all people. And sometimes some of us can find it hard to get along with people who might rub us the wrong way, but he's a genuinely good dude and he is funny as hell. Oh my God. I get text messages at 4 a.m. with the wildest shit on my phone. And I'm kind of like, damn, Charlie. In fact, a lot of the jokes that you see me sharing come from him. So if you want to make a good friend or you want to get to know somebody who's pretty awesome, go see him at the American Foe on Twitter. It's scrolling across the bottom. And now we are going to say hi to everybody in the private chat. It is, is the software not working? I can't see any of your comments. I have no idea what's going on. The internet. Oh, there we are. Okay. Alan's here. Hi, Alan. Back in school, but if you don't toughen up, the guys met you after school. Yep, that is definitely for sure. That is definitely for sure. In fact, I have experienced being bullied in school a lot. And we are saying hi to Jamal Whitaker. Jamal, my other brother from another mother, only Charlie's a Cowboys fan and Jamal is an Eagles fan, but we can all get along when it comes to Philadelphia cheesesteaks. Hi, Jamal. Oh, you stop it. You stop it. Okay. Probably the amount of money invested in that relationship, you look back and think you could have invested in stocks. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, guys, Doctor Forever. Thank you so much for coming. You're a brand new face. It's good to see you. Hopefully, you'll be coming around again. Oh, see, now Jamal's getting a little bit wordy right now. It's okay, Jamal. It's okay. He's family. He can like Cowboys if he wants to. We all talk shit to each other, you guys. So for those of you who don't know, the Cowboys fans and the Eagles fans, there is like some sort of supernatural venom. And I never understood actually having hate in your heart for somebody because of a sports team. I don't get it. If that makes me a shitty Eagles fan, then so be it, because I don't hate people because of something like that. I just don't, I can't even really say that I hate anyone, truly hate anyone. I despise people, but hate, I reserve that. Okay, you guys, I love you, man. Oh, you're awesome, Jamal. You're awesome, man. So for those of you who maybe didn't get to see Jamal's interview, Jamal is in North Philly, which is an especially dangerous area of the country, and he is working on serving his community to try to relieve the troubles of that area. So God bless you, Jamal. I love you, man. It's good to see you here. All right, you guys, that is it for tonight. It is date night for Mr. and Mrs. Spraggins. And I'm going to go home and get myself all sassified for that wonderful husband of mine. Now, remember, if you enjoy this broadcast, if you enjoy, other broadcasts that we've done, please make it a point to go to AllJOYInspired.store. There is a bunch of fun stuff there that, I think you could really enjoy. I mean, we've got some t-shirts, we've got some gifts, something to make you laugh or to perk up your spirits or even connect you closer to your faith. If you're feeling you're not feeling God lately, maybe some reminders that he's still there in one way or another. So thank you all for being a part of the show today. Next week, I have a surprise for you. His name is Derek, and I'm hoping, if we're lucky, we can get him on the show. So Derek, if you're out there, email me or text me, man. You got my phone number, yo. All right, guys, digging from darkness, living in light. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins, and I'm the founder of All Joy Inspired. Don't drink and drive, please, and y'all be safe.